Alright. What's up, y'all? It's still Smuts Decimals. Jakushi, we're back in that video. Alright. We got Lucy? Luso? I'm gonna call you LS. LS, the Untold Religion of SpongeBob. What? What is going on this time? Now, I was trying to see if I'm seeing that right. What type of religion they got going on SpongeBob? You talking about that episode with Squidward? We're joining the theme. Let's see. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Follow social media is gonna pop up on the screen. We're on the road to 500. I thought about buying some new monitors low key while I'm looking at dude stuff. Dude got about 3 monitors. I think I would do those 3 monitors. I don't know.
Leave it out here in case they come back.
Nope. A patty this special.
Try asking again.
And, well, I haven't had one of these babies in over 20 minutes.
Try asking again.
Huh?
Try asking again.
I ain't gonna hold you. I thought somebody was gonna be right behind him and just like kidnap him.
Something about SpongeBob always bothered me. I used to be a big ancient mythology fan as a kid. Yeah, I read the Percy Jackson books and everything. So I always found it.
Oh, you did? Hey, man. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel, bro. Percy Jackson books. I read all of these, bro. Good.
Odd how Neptune is depicted on the show. He's a king, but also a god, but he's not worshipped by the residents of Bikini Bottom.
Yeah.
Not like how history says he would have been. So there's a god, there are churches, and there is an afterlife. The fundamentals of religious institution are here. They're just complicated. Especially when you consider how there are 2 versions of Neptune alongside a Poseidon. But
I was about to say, I thought there was 3, but it is Poseidon. Oh, okay.
we could tackle all of that. I'd like to start off by discussing the parallels of religion in a much smaller scale. On the show, this is depicted through cults. We're going to be taking a look at 2 episodes. The first, Cephalopod Lodge. After SpongeBob tries to find out why Squidward is so uncharacteristically happy every 3rd Wednesday of every month, he and Patrick follow him out of his home. They arrive at a pyramid-shaped building where an eye symbol appears frequently, most likely alluding to the Eye of Providence used by the Freemasons. While they're not technically a cult, this symbol has brought forth cultish vibes, given that it's supposed to be an all-seeing eye. This idea fits here with the lodge, as there will be great pressure to conform and follow the rules. This type of symbol is actually seen again in Good Neighbors, where SpongeBob and Patrick make Squidward the president of their club. But back to this episode. Squidward greets the doorman as Brother Roger, and they perform a surprisingly intimate tentacle handshake before he's welcomed inside where many other cephalopods are conversing, all wearing the same robes. They get called to attention and quickly form 2 lines facing a curtain, where someone with similar but more complex robing emerges. The leader, he says that for centuries, cephalopods had one nemesis, moray eels. Whoever wants to join the lodge undergoes an initiation ceremony where they get stung by one, which doesn't make sense considering that more
Just to join the lodge, you gotta get stung by an eel? Nah, that's crazy. I would never join. I ain't gonna hold you. This not something I would not want to do. I don't care if I was the only squid.
moray eels don't produce electricity, but whatever. After this new member gets shocked, the crowd cheers in excitement, and that includes SpongeBob and Patrick, much to the horror of the members. An upset Squidward confronts them to ask if they followed him there, but in doing so, he reveals his connection to them. The leader states that for thousands of years, no outsiders have witnessed that sacred initiation, and that he has desecrated the sanctity of the lodge, thus leading to his ousting. The rest of the episode revolves around SpongeBob and Patrick trying to cheer up Squidward by attempting to apologize to the lodge, by starting their own secret club, and finally, by getting Squidward back into the good graces of the community he missed, only to be once again kicked out at the end. This episode, for its premise being just a funny haha gimmick, actually sets up an accurate and traditional cult. The Cephalopod Lodge is an organization run by a leader that uses social pressure to control its members. The lodge gives them a sense of belonging. They are all cephalopods. Here, they are brothers. The same robes are worn. Exclusive ceremony experiences are shared.
And what type of stuff like they be doing now, like low key? This ain't no like frat boy stuff, huh? They got you doing weird stuff just to join the frat. Like, nah, bro.
There is a strong sense of community. This is why Squidward is so happy on the days where they meet. As he says, it almost makes the other 353 days worth living for. But when Squidward inadvertently breaks their rules, he is severely punished with little to no chance for explanation. They expel him, cast him out into the streets, just like that. To the lodge and the members he once called brother, he has become the other. Their attitude towards him immediately shifting as soon as he's ousted. As for Squidward, he feels lost as his sense of identity is literally ripped away from him by someone that he once held dear. This is all unfortunately very similar to what happens in real cults, where someone is kicked out or leaves. They are ostracized by the people they considered friends and sometimes are even shunned by their own family. The remaining members of the cult are often told not to engage with them as they aren't seen as one of them anymore. This is why oftentimes these ousted members will try to come back. The outside world is scary, so they want to return to a comfortable life that they once knew, filled with people that loved and cared for them. All they have to do is follow the rules and keep the faith, which isn't something that's really discussed here, not like in Club SpongeBob. And if you ever want to watch SpongeBob or anything else with me in the community, please feel free to join our Discord and I'll see you over there. Now, this episode starts off with SpongeBob and Patrick up in a treehouse of...
So with this one saying, it'd be so funny saying, I ain't lying to you, saying.
Squidward mocks them about their club. They respond by telling him that he can't get into the club even if he tried, and that he wouldn't fit in. Taking this as a challenge, he climbs up towards them and realizes that they were speaking literally. They have been cramped and stuck there for 3 days. But Squidward is there now, so they initiate him in, causing him to reject them, saying he would never want to be a member of their club. In his escape attempt, he ends up slingshotting them across Bikini Bottom and deep into a kelp forest. Squidward freaks out and immediately loses all hope. It's SpongeBob that tries to reassure him that they're a club and that they'll be fine if they just stick together. Besides, they have this, a magic conch that has the answers to all of their questions. SpongeBob and Patrick treat the magic conch's words as gospel.
We must never question the wisdom of the magic conch.
The shell knows all.
This leads them to ask it what they should do. And
so I remember that this magic conch though keep messed up with it, saying, talk about can I eat? I was like, bro, you serious, bro? Nah, bro, I wouldn't even be asked. I would have just been ate. I would have been ate.
Does nothing? They blindly follow this order because it will surely bring them prosperity. Squidward, of course, finds this whole thing ridiculous, and in an attempt to display the superiority of his free will, he makes his own decisions. That doesn't really go well for him. He's scared and he's alone. SpongeBob and Patrick, on the other hand, are feeling neither of these intense emotions because they followed the conch's orders. This could be seen as Squidward's punishment for leaving, as people tend to join cults to rid themselves of negative emotions. By not having to make a decision for themselves, the burden of fear and anxiety is lifted off of them. All they have to do is believe. It's no coincidence that when Squidward says that he's hopelessly lost, he finally finds a brightly lit exit as uplifting music plays. He goes towards it and celebrates, thinking he outsmarted the club, only to realize he ended up back at the crash site. The conch has given him another chance. As weeks go by, Squidward attempts to make the best out of the situation by putting up a physical boundary, a hat, shelter, and trying to hype up the warm food he's cooking. SpongeBob and Patrick, still following the conch's orders, remain motionless. As Squidward taunts them with his meager amenities, he gloats that they too could have had all of this if only they just listened to him instead of a magic clam. Once again, absolute disrespect to the club and its leader. Action must be taken. This is when a crashing plane carrying picnic supplies is forced to drop its cargo load, all conveniently landing around.
Nah, keep it a buck. Let's keep it real, son. This would never been happening. They would be low key still starving to this day. That's why I don't be getting about this, bro.
Around SpongeBob and Patrick. They smile and praise the conch for these gifts, leaving Squidward in disbelief. As they enjoy their spoils, Squidward looks on with envy, his ego shattering before him as his stomach takes over. He folds instantly and nervously says that he was just joking earlier, that he's still a member of the club, and like SpongeBob said earlier, the club needs to stick together. They welcome him back in with open arms. Once a member, always a member. But in his hurry to feast, Squidward's lack of belief once again emerges. When he couldn't decide what to eat, SpongeBob tells him to console the magic conch. Squidward not only rejects this motion, but mocks it. SpongeBob and Patrick are quick to pull everything away from him.
Man, son, and this right here, son, I ain't gonna hold you. This would have been the day I would have had to like throw hands on him and break that magic conch. I ain't lying to you, dude. If I'm in a damn near feel like I'm about to die with starvation, and y'all put a whole table of this, and y'all holding the thing like this, oh no. Throw them, like, I'm for real. I'm throwing them. I'm swinging first, acting quick later, like Flight said.
Keeping him from their prizes as a result of this disrespect. SpongeBob asks him if he's questioning the authority of the magic conch, as if he was pleading for his friend's belief to be as strong as his. Patrick then brings up a dire thought. What if Squidward isn't actually a brother? This, just like in the Cephalopod Lounge episode, further reflects how cults use this type of language to reinforce a sense of belonging and togetherness. They are all family, so you wouldn't want to do anything that would get you kicked out of your trying to save face. Tells them that they're misunderstood, that he loves the conch just like they do. Although, in doing so, the cracks in his veil of belief once again show as he calls the conch a piece of plastic. A slight that proves he's still a non-believer. The conch knows this. Squidward asks if it should have the spaghetti or the turkey.
Neither.
Soup?
I don't think so.
Growing frustrated, he asks if he can have anything to eat, and the answer is
No.
As he becomes more irritated, Patrick takes the conch from him to ask it if Squidward can have some of this yummy, delicious, super terrific sandwich. No. Can Patrick have it? Yes. Patrick is rewarded for being a true believer. Frustrated, Squidward takes the conch and desperately asks over and over again. He still thinks that it's a toy. All of these responses have to be randomized. This has all just been a huge coincidence. If he just keeps asking for food, eventually it will say yes. Right? Squidward, at his wit's end, is about to lose it. SpongeBob asks him if he's okay, and Patrick tells him to maybe ask the conch. Squidward is obviously not okay, but rather than coming to that conclusion themselves,
yeah, like that right here, son, I would have broke that thing. I ain't gonna hold it, fam.
they almost shed more of their free thought by asking the conch for its guidance. That's when an explorer who heard the commotion comes to their rescue. Squidward, exasperated, clings to him. He's saved. This nightmare is finally over. He explains how he's been stuck out here for weeks with these two, being forced to endure their club and their magic conch shell. This triggers something in the Explorer. Magic conch shell? He reaches into his shirt and pulls out the exact same conch.
Nah, that's
The
good.
Explorer's face changes from very serious to goofy, symbolizing his regression from his own person to just another club member. Pure joy and happiness shines from his face. I'm reminded of something SpongeBob said earlier.
This copyrighted conch is the cornerstone of our organization.
He genuinely does believe that it's more than a toy, and so does the Explorer, who has an identical one. This can only imply that this cult is more widespread than we can imagine if the conch is mass-produced. They all celebrate finding each other with their club call. Well, all except Squidward. He can't believe it. The Explorer then says that the conch is the one that told him to go out into this deep, deep kelp forest to save them, to save fellow club members. He then asks it the final question of the episode. What do they do now? Squidward stares on in complete horror as he finally understands. He already knows its response.
Nothing.
They praise it for its wisdom and then do just that. Squidward, mind-broken and weak-willed, has no other option at this point but to finally give in. He praises the conch himself and then sits down to do nothing. As I previously mentioned, cults...
Nah, that's low-key crazy. I ain't gonna just say. You know, that hole that he just got done slashing and all that stuff, I would have just walked off and left them. I ain't gonna hold you, bro.
can relieve its members of emotional weight. Squidward has nothing. In his multiple attempts to prove the conch wrong, he is punished over and over and over again. This is all he has left now. Blind faith. Without a doubt, this conch seems to be the most worshipped thing on the show, which is surprising considering the canonical existence of actual deities. By the way, if you're enjoying this, please do consider subscribing. It really helps out a lot. Thanks. While they are not explicit, churches or church-like buildings do in fact exist in Bikini Bottom. In
Shit. Look.
just one bite, Squidward is marrying a Krabby Patty. Both of them in traditional marriage clothing in front of a priest officiating over the ceremony. There are decorative flowers, pews on either side of the aisle.
I thought this was like just a little fantasy dream that he just had, bro. When he first ate the Krabby Patty and he was just having these like imagination picture thoughts and stuff like that. I know I'm covering it up, but you know.
And stained glass windows with anchor symbols. In Choir Boys, the building exterior is similar to that of a small, humble church. Once again, we see stained glass windows in addition to hanging banners. A choir such as this, on raised platforms besides a piano, would not be out of place in an actual church. In Truth or Square, Sandy walks down the aisle to marry SpongeBob, both in traditional clothing, in a building with pews on both sides, with an organ being played and a priest with an anchor symbol on his hat. While yes, this whole thing is revealed to be just a play, the priest tells Patrick that he didn't know that this was a play. Of course, the show doesn't really dive deep into the specifics of religion, given that it's not what it cares about. It's a show for jokes and entertainment. Everything is merely a vehicle to deliver that. This is why Neptune and Poseidon, despite being depicted and worshipped as gods in our real-life history, when it comes to the show, even if they have the title of a god, they're treated much more like royalty than anything else. They have fans in the same way that people are fans of the royal family, but sometimes they are talked about as if they were more. While I was working on this video about the horrors of SpongeBob, go check it out after this if you haven't.
We'll check this out this week, Friday. We'll be checking that out. Matter of fact, we will be checking that out Friday. If this blows up, we will be checking this Friday. If you is watching this video, This is we got another poll. Uh, let's see. Put a put a put a question mark for one. Put I know. Matter of fact, yeah. Put a question mark for one. Put a hashtag as no. How y'all want to do it? Let's see. How y'all want to do it?
Watching Spongehenge, and there was a piece of dialogue that let two fish go outside on a very windy night. One of them says that Neptune is upset about something if he's causing this gale. The other fish, upon hearing this, laughs in his face, stating that everyone knows that Poseidon is the ruler of the undersea. In high sea diving, when SpongeBob ends up in a floating trash pile near the surface, he ends up dislodging several items that float down to the people of Bikini Bottom, who interpret these as gifts from Neptune himself. It gets to a point where the residents, in order to appease Neptune, were even about to sacrifice someone once the flow of items stopped. Meanwhile, Old Man Jenkins has been stuck up there for a year now, and in his isolation, convinced himself that he is King Neptune. He is, of course, smited later on for impersonating the real King Neptune. But what I want to focus on here is how when SpongeBob first sees Old Man Jenkins, he plays along with his delusions, calling himself Poseidon. Inciting a rivalry, they instantly start throwing stuff at each other. So there does seem to be some sort of discourse here. Now, let's pull back a bit to go over some things. Neptune is the Roman god of the sea. Poseidon is the Greek god of the sea. It's a whole thing, but essentially, ancient Romans adopted the gods that ancient Greeks worshipped. That's why they are so similar despite having different names. In the show, there is a lot of crisscrossing regarding mythology. Like I said, Neptune is a Roman god, but his wife, Amphitrite, a Greek goddess. The same goes for his son, Triton.
Now listen, I'm about to make this a theory. And y'all agree, if y'all agree with this, agree with it. Put your little part to it. Whole time, oh, that's old dude girl. And Neptune took his girl. Okay? Boom. She ended up messing with him. He took his girl, boom, boom, boom. They got married and this and that. Mind you, they got a son, and allegedly there's another Neptune too. He's forgetting about the movie one too. I don't know how and why do we forget that, like, he's not in the same universe. Movies count too. If they don't, then somebody correct me wrong. This King Neptune, right? Unless this is his dad. No key, that might be his dad, low key. But that's his daughter. That's his daughter. That's his daughter. Then, hold on, so somebody got to do explain it. Then, this definitely got to be his dad, and then that's got to be his daughter. So his daughter would be older than his son, so they'll be technically, cousins. Yeah, basically. Or they could low key be brothers. Low key. Who knows? But yeah, y'all see the daughter right here? Minnie. Right here. Okay. Patrick was falling in love with her. Oh, she was. I think she was young. I don't know. But that's over now. You know, but hey, in general, that's just my little theory though, low key.
Triton, a Greek god. In Triton Trouble, a Greek chorus opens up the episode to explain that they will narrate the events of the story. These resemble how actual chorus members would look as they wore expressive masks, spoke together, narrating and reacting to a play for the audience. In the show, they also reference other Greek gods, such as Zeus, Apollo, and Adonis. Neptune is also 5,000 years old here. His Greek counterpart, Poseidon, is only 3,000 years old. This differs from real life as between the two, Poseidon is the original god of the sea, so he should be the older one. While they both are kings, Neptune...
Oh, hold on. Hold on. They could low key be. I think these low key brothers. I'm taking it. This is they son. He's the father of these two. So this doesn't make sense. So that must be they brothers then. Yeah, they all siblings then. Yeah, they all got to be siblings. So he's King Poseidon and he's King Neptune. So he's Neptune Junior to him. And he's Poseidon. So King Poseidon. So his real name probably Poseid or Persera, whatever the dude name is. And basically, he took his brother girl and made a baby with the son, right? Go with the son real quick, okay? The son, this dude, that's his son. So that's his nephew, blah, 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 okay? So that's his girl, but he took him. So, boom. That's the dad. That's both of these two brothers. That's his nephew, and that's his they sister. They need to go ahead and confirm this and make this a movie. Not gonna hold you. It would be a box hitter. I'll low key sit down and watch it with a big larger popcorn. Not gonna hold you. But in general, let's finish off this video though. Kinda low key is getting tired. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. And I'm about to go to sleep because I gotta wake up my little brothers, so they go to school.
Seems to be the more powerful being, given his abilities, even able to turn SpongeBob into a god. Poseidon, on the other hand, in the one piece of media he's appeared in, the Sponge on the Run movie, is treated much more like royalty instead of a deity. At only 3,000 years old, he's aging, wrinkling, and becoming decrepit at a relatively faster rate than his rival. While Neptune is the king of Atlantis and the sea, Poseidon seems to just rule over a singular location, Atlantic City.
Alright, bro, I'm gonna just move my camera on the other side because I know y'all cannot see what I'm talking about. God dang, bro, like... I know I don't know, and I know what I would do. Somebody help me instead, if I'm not really happy.
And there's actually a scene where Poseidon states that some say he has the face of a Greek god, only to be reminded that he is a Greek god. And as far as I can tell, Spongehenge is the only other time Poseidon is referred to as a god in the SpongeBob universe. It's fitting that what follows this is the Poseidon believers' leftovers being whisked away by the wind.
Not the leftovers. Oh man. Nah, man, I know, dude, man. I'd be mad too. Especially that's that you go to Texas Roadhouse, they got that good bread in there, or that my little steak meat with the little potatoes. And I got another one on the way. Nah, bro. Hold on, man. Me and Poseidon gonna have to get it up one time. On that too, whoever blew that little win.
As punishment by Neptune for doubting him. So now that we've come to some sort of conclusion over who the more powerful, proper ruler seems to be, there is still a problem in that there are two King Neptunes, the television version and the movie version. They both look and act very differently. The one on TV is more God-coded as he's shredded and carries himself more like a superior being, while at the same time being able to recognize his faults. The one in the movie is bald, insecure, quick-tempered, and has more cartoonish features. These are qualities that more so fit a bumbling member of royalty. But this movie also introduces another key factor. Princess
Boy, that's funny. That's funny. Every time I go back and watch that movie.
royalty. But this movie also
That part right there saying, and that dude in the background saying, huh? Hold on, dude in the background. What that man saying in the background, bro? That man had me laughing. I ain't gonna hold you, saying. My phone was not charging the whole time. Yeah, my phone was charging. There you go. Let's say it's kind of like see.
introduces another key factor. Princess Mindy, King Neptune's daughter. A completely original character not based off of mythology, unlike the rest of his family. Both he and Mindy, for the longest time, were only shown in this film. This is because the movie is owned by Paramount, and thus, the exclusive
Nah,
elements
that's proving
in it
my point now, because she's the only one got, well, him and her brother got black hair as the mom. So basically, the mom had to, Loki, the mom had to not been exist, or she then was passed away, or something like that. Same as how we didn't see any other, Poseidon or Neptune characters. Not gonna hold it.
it couldn't be used on the show, at least not until 10 years after the film's release in 2014, where she starts making cameo appearances. So, given this, and the fact that movie Neptune's Crown makes a cameo on TV, does that mean that there are two King Neptunes out there? This is what we see in the 20th anniversary character poster, where both Neptunes are shown arms crossed, back to back, eyeing each other with great annoyance.
Unless he got beef with his dad, and his dad did something to him, because that could be that too, though. I ain't gonna hold you. That man could low key be beefing with his dad. Cause now they looking weird, cause this is such and such. This right here is a weird family, an unexplained family. Low key just need to be explained. Oh crap! Look at dude. Only see that dude from that one episode. No, that's crazy. King Atlantis. Saw that man one episode.
This, of course, could be metaphorical considering that Amphitrite is on TV Neptune's side, while Mindy is on movie Neptune's side. However, so is Trident, who has only appeared alongside TV Neptune before, and my brain hurts. I feel like I have lost my mind trying to come up with a clear conclusion here with these two, and my frustration grew even further when I saw the Titans of the Tide video game. And as clear as day, there she is. Princess Mindy, next to TV Neptune.
Cause that's his sister the whole time, and this is his wife. I'm telling you, that's gonna be the theory. That's low key need to be the game, and That should be like a good movie to go ahead and explain about the Neptunes. Not gonna hold you. Just only put that on Paramount Plus. Not gonna hold you. Do not put this on theaters. If you put this on theaters, it might not do well, but who knows? It might actually do well. Kids love SpongeBob, but I don't know about this new generation. Nowadays they like to watch brain rot stuff.
It's just a cartoon. It's just a cartoon. It's just a cartoon. Hi, so after recording this, I found out that in the cooking game, Krusty Cook-Off, Trident, Midney, and Neptune all appear next to each other because, of course they do. Okay, so I'm just going to land on them being one and the same, and it's just two different depictions given how movie Neptune is never really seen again. But while we're talking about this game, there's something else from it that I really want to mention real quick. The Flying Dutchman's existence. He isn't a god or a king of any kind, but he is deceased. He is a ghost and not the only specter seen, as even one of Neptune's advisors, Frank, dies off screen and becomes a spirit. There is an afterlife in the SpongeBob universe, and the Flying Dutchman is a psychopomp, a being that guides souls into the afterlife, such as when he went to take
Here we go. We got another theory.
Mr. Krabs to Davy Jones' locker. The Flying Dutchman is not all good, yet he is not all evil either. But what is clear is that he is a supreme being, given that the whole basis around this game is that he could butt heads with King Neptune himself and still hold his own. And it seems like we'll actually get a glimpse into his origin in the new SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants. But what is clear right now is that his power indeed rivals that of a god. So it's no wonder the citizens of Bikini Bottom were so afraid of him.
Anyways, hope y'all enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow our social media, pop on the screen. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. We is on the road to 500, and I'm out.